Swac is already a super conference. We have every major Division I school from Texas to Florida. But when you start looking at what this quote-unquote definition is of a super conference, you look at what the Big Ten has done, you look at what the SEC has done, they've taken a look at institutions that fit their profile and that can enhance their conference. Well, we did that 2 years ago. In some instances, they did what we did 2 years ago with FAMU and Bethune-Cookman. We're not going to expand for the sake of expanding. We get calls, we field calls from institutions. We put together a sustainability committee. It goes on. Again, we're not going to be reactionary, but there are a lot of things that you have to take a look into. We don't want to have to travel 2,000 miles to play a volleyball game. So if there's a school that fits our profile, that's going to enhance our conference, because our brand is extremely, extremely valuable. We don't want to diminish that value, nor do we want to put our schools in a situation where it's going to stretch their resources. So we'll be strategic about it. But as I said 4 years ago, we're going to be on the front end of this, not on the back end, and we're on solid ground.
Jay, he is speechless. I believe that means, Commissioner McClellan, you have covered everything within the state of the SWAC.
He took some of my Give Me 5 ideas I got for the later part of the show, man. You know your conference.
We appreciate your time, you being here. We certainly look forward to hearing from the coaches and players. But when we come back, you talked about the sponsorships and all those corporate partners. Well, guess what? We'll get a chance to hear from one of them, Derek Lewis of PepsiCo. He'll be coming up on the stage in just a moment. He puts his money where his mouth is. You'll want to come back with us to Birmingham.
There be no doubt you are ready for whatever comes next. You've got bars to raise, expectations to exceed, status quos to rise above, and you've come to the right place because it all starts right here, which is precisely why we are so proud to support HBCU programs.
Dad, when is the future?
Oh wow. The future is what's ahead of us.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Maybe this way. So now we're in the present. Now we're in the future.
The all-electric Chevy Bolt UV with available Super Cruise for
Man, they got Chevy on everything.
Do fish get thirsty?
Find new answers, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Some college players give it their all. But when I say player, I don't mean the ones with the ball. I mean the ones that play drums, the brass,
Yeah, can't have the commercials on there like that. How y'all doing out there? Yeah, I'm trying my live thing. Couldn't make it down to Birmingham, but you know what? Y'all can watch it with me, right? All right. How you doing, Daryl? What's up?
Swac Media Day presented by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Joining me on stage now, we just teased him up a little bit, and he is sitting right next to me, Mr. Derek Lewis, the president of PepsiCo Multicultural North America. Thank you so much for being here. And before I get into questions, we just want to hear from you very briefly and bringing us a welcome.
Right, Jeff, it's an honor to be here today. Really, it tells me and signals in the air that football season is coming upon us. That's going to bring excitement with competition, the fans, the students back on campus, the bands, the energy. It's unlike, it's unparalleled when this happens. So we're really excited to be here. Proud to be our partnership, continue to celebrate our partnership with the SWAC. As I think
good morning.
It's hot right now. We want to continue to ride along that journey. I'm a proud HBCU alum, so I take this all in, as well as not only on a professional level but also a personal level. I'm in a new role now, running the multicultural business and equity development organization for PepsiCo across North America, beverages and foods. And so we really were set up and created early in the year to now really address inequalities for historically excluded people as well as underserved businesses and communities. And so we're a new organization, a bit of a startup inside the company, but our commitment to continue to advance our work in the racial equality journey space is paramount to the organization, the company's success. So this is the next step in that endeavor.
In terms of what you've been able to accomplish in the short time that you've transitioned into this new role, kind of pinpoint some of those touch points that you've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, I think the focus has always been on the key pillars, right? You think about our racial equality journey holistically, there's a pillar on people, pillar on business, and pillar on community. And so inherently in people, we're focused on trying to drive more representation, right? Look, micro market, exceed the market. So heavy recruitment, heavy retention effort there. When you get inside the business community, it's all about supporting our supplier network, extending those partnerships, growing those partnerships to new levels, creating new relationships, new capabilities for people. And then you get in that community space is really all about addressing causes that are really deep inherently in the community and serving those communities that are most in need with the causes that most matter to them, not what we want to drive, but really a voice from the community. So really working end-to-end across those pillars is important. Then there's a consumer element, which is exciting for this setting because you're bringing about the best in our portfolio. And this is now an environment where our brands are going to show up in this experience with the Swac this year in different ways. So, obviously brands like Pepsi, Pepsi Zero Sugar, brands like Gatorade, brands like Rockstar, brands like Doritos, and others will be on campus providing that great experience for the fans, for the students, and also for the athletes, student athletes, picking about a brand like Gatorade. So, thrilled to bring it end to end and really create the excitement that's needed for the Swac.
I was going to say, what have you felt like has been the most fruitful kind of relationship within the Swac? What do you feel like has been able to bear fruit between this partnership with PepsiCo and the Southwestern Athletic
I think
Conference?
the fact we can just ideate. Like, I love being with Commish and his team because we just ideate. The relationship is very strategic. We get able to get things done. Our ground game is obviously solid, but our ability to think big, ideate on bigger platforms, how do we stretch ourselves, next level thinking, I think, has been really exciting and fun because we share a lot of the same vision on how we want to go about the work on an end-to-end way, not just in the athletic space, but holistically around campus. So being able to put some of those ideas not only on paper, but then start to think about resourcing them and putting them in motion is amazing.
All right, Derek, I'm going to put you on the spot. I know that you are a huge sports fan, so give me
Yeah, in
your
about
thoughts on the Swac very quickly of maybe
16 minutes.
and could
Supposed to be Travis Hunter, Deion Sanders, and Shador.
take that trophy for the
And then after that,
That is a very tough question.
I think it's going to be
Look,
smart
the
man.
competition,
Coach Dooley.
I think it's going to be like some of the most elite competition that we've ever seen, right? And just the fact you got the classics, you got the traditional rivalry games. I'm going to be on campus a lot more this year. I'm curious to hear today from the coaches. Part of my assessment will be after I hear from everybody. Get to see what's in motion and hear some of the thoughts that go on from some of the coaches. But I'm really proud of what the coaches, the administrators, the student athletes done. They've been working really hard across the spring. I've been able to tap into some of the spring activity. I think the competition is going to be at hyper levels, so I can't wait to see it. And then, after a few weeks, things will unfold, maybe come back to me.
All right, that's a wise decision. Good choice right there. We appreciate you and very proud of all that you've been able to do for HBCUs within the corporate level. So we will be back with more here from Birmingham. Coming up next, we'll talk to Tommy Henry with cricket.
yeah, I think basically what they're doing now, getting all the sponsors out the way. Like I said, they already announced the lineup, so I think Jackson State goes first, then Southern goes, then I think it's either Grambling or Alcorn. So we're going to be here until either my battery dies on my phone or ESPN says I can't do it anymore. So we're going to see. But how y'all doing out there in the chat? Everybody still awake? Just now getting up? What's going on? Salute to all right, Mr. Rusty Shackelford, no problem. Yeah, I figured everybody didn't have ESPN3, and it's kind of weird, man, that, damn, they quit. Yeah, I don't see who I see down there. Sitting down there in the top left was Coach Walker. Coach Walker ass out there too. Who this right here? Who this?
Season and joining me on stage now, Tommy Henry, who is the director of multicultural at Cricket. And so thank you so much for being here. I will grant the floor to you as well, my good sir.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. It's football time, all right? And I just want to talk about our commitment to HBCUs. As you know, Cricket has been supporting the SWAC since 2018. And not just SWAC. You think about all the other conferences that Cricket supports as well, along as our relationship with ESPN, the Kickoff Challenge, our Celebration Bowl, the Cricket Celebration Bowl. And so we're looking forward to keep continuing to commitment to HBCUs as we move forward. I think Charles mentioned it earlier. If you think about
that better Kingston?
What we're doing with student athletes, what we're doing in the community, we have a campus ambassador program that give kids
No problem, Mike.
youth opportunity to build relationship with Cricket employees, internships opportunities, and really to kind of build that brand and give them a foot forward in the workplace.
How have you all been able to kind of play off of each other in terms of Cricket toward the SWAC and SWAC toward Cricket in terms of building each other's brands together?
Oh wow, it's a match made in heaven. You think about this relationship that we did since 2018 when Dr. Charles McClellan came to the SWAC, and this was the first HBCU partnership that we had. And it really started there. When you think about all the things that Cricket is doing around HBCUs, it started here with the SWAC. So seeing SWAC growing the way they're growing now, it gave us an opportunity to show that commitment as well and grow with the SWAC. So you think about the footprint, we have over 4,000 stores across the nation, and guess what? We have a SWAC school in every one of those markets.
You've talked about some of the initiatives, but what's a program that is on the rise or partnership or relationship that is continuing to burgeon that you're proud of or that you want everyone to know about right now?
Wow, a lot. All right. I used the word committed. So we're committed. So we're always thinking about opportunities and how we can continue to support the conference. And not just the conference, just the black audience altogether, right? And how we can try to get more minority owners, right? We're looking for small business owners. We want HBCU alumni. We want young students to, when they graduate, to be an entrepreneur, to go get a Cricket store. So we're looking for owners. And we're part of our campus ambassador program, and just giving youth an opportunity, a platform, so they can get in front of executives, so they can continue to build their resume up and know what it takes to be in the workforce. So we're excited about those programs.
I'd love to hear that. Y'all hear that? The opportunities that are there, the pipeline that is being created, the entrepreneurial opportunities that exist within Cricket and these partnerships, that is impactful work that is going to be meaningful moving forward. Tommy, I appreciate your time. I think you quick thoughts
here we go.
on the SWAC this year. Give me your just quick general thoughts.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm kind of speechless. I mean, I talked to Charles. You know, we have a great relationship, and just to hear the things that the conference is doing, and they're not just, when you think about the SWAC, I mean, they're leading, right? They're, you know, not to take away from any other conference, but they're setting the bar. And what this season is gonna entail is gonna be unbelievable. I think I'm so excited. I can't wait to get started and catch up some of these classic games.
Well, the good news for you and all who are watching and listening, next up first, Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs out of Huntsville, will come to the stage. So you'll want to come right back.
Oh, let's Alabama A&M first. Okay.
Media Day, presented by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Come back with us.
So Alabama A&M will be first up. We all know that, man. Coach Maynard's been quiet for the whole damn off season. When hear what this man got to say about the upcoming season. So how y'all feeling out there? Y'all ready for the season to start? Any games y'all want to go to, or I think I should highlight? Any of them I should go live with or live from? Yeah, because I do plan on going all JSU. Well, I do know I am going live from the Grambling State versus Arkansas State game. I'll be there. I'm handing out tickets for the Texas Southern versus Jackson State game in Houston. So if anybody's down there in Houston, let me know. I do have season tickets to JSU, but I'm only going to 2 games. So I'm not going to homecoming. I'm going to the back to the thing.
Thank you so much for being here. Finished third in the SWAC last year. Had a great season. Had 7 wins to go along with 3 losses. With me now, along with J. Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, the wide receiver, and Mr. Gary Quarles, the running back for the Bulldogs, led by Connell Maynor. And Coach, we're first going to tee it up. We'll give everyone kind of an easy question of what are the expectations and what's to come for this season for the Bulldogs.
Easy question.
That's an easy question. Look, we're getting everybody acclimated, feeling good, and so that's a simple question that I can toss your way. We're gonna make sure that we get your answer projected so that everyone can hear. So we're gonna ask that you try to start that answer once more and see if those microphones are picking up that voice. Yes.
So, you want an easy question. I wasn't big on easy questions. So, I'm just right down to it. So, Coach Maynor.
He been quiet the whole damn year.
Came third, and I remember there were years where everybody was happy if y'all went 8-3. So now, coming off of last year, you raised the level of expectation so high. So how do you now keep it going with that momentum that the 8-3, nobody was happy in Huntsville last year, right? Coming off the spring, fantastic spring. What was your message to your team and to the Bulldog community?
Yeah, that wasn't good enough. 7 wins is good enough for some programs. Ours, we were satisfied with that. We want to be in the championship game. We want to be representing SWAC in the Celebration Bowl.
Very competitive eastern side of the conference, which you guys are in, where Florida A&M hangs out, where Jackson State hangs out there. What did you do to catch up to those guys? What have you added?
Well, we added some players. We went to the portal and added some players on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, we lost to Quill Glass, but we'll be fine at quarterback, and it's going to be competitive, and we look forward to the challenge.
Gary Quarles, what kind of oxygen are you taking? This is one of the few football players I've seen in the country does not leave the game. Do you ever get tired? You talk about leaving it all on the field. I think you played 98, 99% of the offensive snaps. What do you have in store for this season?
Now, I'm going to ask this question. I want to make sure everyone can hear you all, so make sure you hold up those microphones close to your mouth. But I'm going to ask because, in talking with your coaches, they often say, Gary Quarles, Abdul Fattah Ibrahim, the hardest workers on the team, the leaders on our team. You nearly averaged 100 yards on the ground per game. You're the only 1,000-yard receiver in the conference and the 3-time All-American. So where is that hard work rooted in, and why? Why are you so dedicated toward this Bulldog program?
I'm a firm believer what you put in, you're going to get out of it. So, if I put in hard work day in and day out, it might not be 1 month, it might not be a year, but it's going to show, the results going to show eventually. So, and it has been shown.
Mr. Ibrahim, talk to me now. Talk to me. I'm a quarterback.
Yeah.
Coach Maynor was a good quarterback back in the day. You're losing one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the program in Alabama A&M. What are you going to do to come up with that new chemistry with the new quarterback, whoever it may be, and how do you elevate your game? How do you welcome them in?
Just build their confidence day one. To make more plays as a receiver, make their job easier for them, and just continue to just work hard with each other and just build that bond, that brotherhood that we need to have.
And what's been the key? What was the key to success? When Alabama A&M is rolling, when y'all had the success, what was the key? What made the Bulldogs special? What made y'all get that bite that was missing before Coach Maynard got there?
Oh, we just got that swagger. That's all. We just got that swagger.
You got that swagger. All right, and I say every time I see Quarles, they just miss excitement. I mean, old school football player does not leave the field. He's not a third down back or nothing like that, is he? He's a real one. But Coach Maynard, what was it like? Do you ever worry about what you're going to do in terms of pacing him and keeping him fresh and things of that nature?
Yeah, I wanted to do that last year. I always want to do it every year with my running backs because that position is wearing and tearing on your body. And so I really like to get him about 23 carries and get us back about 15 carries. That's what I really want to do every game, every season. So he'll be healthy down the stretch. But we just went in that situation last year that we could put somebody else in that we trusted like him, so we kept him in there.
Can I ask him a question, Tiffany? Sure. That's going to make him a little bit uncomfortable. You ready for an uncomfortable question? You ready for one?
No such thing.
Barry, watch this. Players, y'all going to like this. What's up with defense, man? I know you know offense. What's up with defense, man? Talk to me about defense, Bulldog.
Well, we signed a lot of guys out of the portal, and defensively we would have probably 10 to 11 new starters on defense.
10 to
Damn.
11 new starters.
Yeah.
So you realize you need a defense to win a championship. Or can you outscore everybody?
Well, that's why you need a defense. Because you can't outscore everybody. We proved that last year. So you need a defense. You got to be a complete team. You need special teams. And we knew that was our weakness, so we went out and tried to address it.
And give us the status of the Quill Glass. Player of the year for a number of years, had a great career. What's the status of him, and what do you mean in the program?
His status right now, I think he's waiting on Detroit to possibly get invited to camp. And he worked out for the XFL last week. And so hopefully one of those teams will take him, or if not, he'll get an opportunity with Detroit or somebody in the league. So again, he's the greatest player, one of the greatest players ever played at Alabama, A&M, and we're going to miss him, and I wish him the best.
Looking forward to the fall, coach and players, in terms of the schedule. Obviously,
Yeah, I got to glare on my screen.
is the most important game, but what are some other critical games that everyone should keep their eye on?
Really, like you said, the first game, but we all know our conference game when we played FAMU, Jackson State, teams like that. Therefore, we could be able to clinch that number one spot in our division and go on from there.
Yeah, y'all need a little get back, don't you? Y'all, that Jackson State game, y'all don't y'all want a little get back from that one? And obviously, these young kids, I mean, everybody circles the classic. I mean, y'all can act smooth if you want to. That classic means something. Why is that classic so important for the players?
The classic important because it's another game. I mean, it's the next game, so that's why it's important.
Playing in that game's got to be exciting. I mean, that's one of those games where I'm like, man, I wish we both jealous. We wish we had an opportunity to play in a stadium with that type of atmosphere there. What do you do to get you hyped up for that game, and how do you stay focused?
We don't really do nothing to get hyped up. I mean, the hype is already there. I mean, once you go into the game, you see all the fans, see the atmosphere. You got no choice but to be pumped up and ready to go.
All right. The Alabama A&M Bulldogs ready for the 2022 campaign. And talking about that Magic City Classic, their in-state rival and opponent, Alabama State, coming up right after the break.
Yep. See who I see down there. A.D. Robinson. Yeah, so apparently y'all want me to stream every single Jackson State game, huh? we gonna see. We gonna see if I can do every single Jackson State game. Like I said, I will be handing out tickets to games this year, man. So just stay focused and stay tuned. Let's see. Who the hell is this? Charles Barkley, crazy ass. So what games y'all looking forward to, man? Like, what game do y'all think is the biggest game of the season? It'll be the Southern Heritage Classic, the Gulf Coast Classic, Bayou Classic. Which one y'all looking forward to? Let's see. Can't like my own stream. Okay, cool. Sorry about the bad camera play, but hey, My stand ain't working right now.
Welcome into the 2022 Cricket Swac Football Media Day presented by Pepsi Zero.
Boombox Classics.
On the stage,
I will actually be at.
over from Montgomery, Alabama.
Go.
The Hornets of Alabama State. Their new head coach, Eddie Robinson Jr., and a new face to the program, and Demetrius Davis, along with Mr. Urshad Davis, who's been a stalwart for the Hornets. And so, just in terms of what the reception has been like going back home for you, Eddie, just what has this experience been like for you?
Our big motto this year is the swarm is one, and I think everybody's coming together and realizing
Nah, I ain't sleep, fool.
It's more than just a head football coach or a player to win the championship. It's the whole community. So everybody around campus, around the city of Montgomery, they're all tuned in to try to help us reach that goal.
Man, Coach Robinson, your old colleague here, Jay Walker here. Many people don't know this, but Coach Rob was an analyst with us for ESPN. What made you decide to get into the coaching ranks? Obviously, Alabama State is home, but ultimately, that's a big challenge to say, you know what? I want to do this, and I can do this. What was the deciding factor?
I think the biggest thing is, you can give your money to something and you can be committed, but the most precious thing you have is your time. So for me, it's just a matter of giving my time. You have to know that once you get into coaching, it's a 100% commitment. It's a 24-hour-a-day job. I get guys calling me all hours of the day and night. I'm sure all the coaches have that same experience. So once I had that aspect, I can give my time and 100% effort into it, then it was an easy decision.
I think I know part of the answer, but you've been around a lot of great coaches, right? And I know there's always one coach that stands deep to your heart, Coach Markham, obviously. Your style of coaching, what do you plan on doing? What's your coaching style going to be? Very reserved, off camera, off the field, but what are you going to do? What's your style of coaching going to be? Who are you going to emulate?
I think it's still football. And then you have to be tough, you have to be physical, and that's what we're trying to emulate. I think it starts on offense, then it goes to defense. It's people think it's the opposite, but I think the offensive line, you have to have that attitude that we're going to be physical and tough, and that's how you have to approach it. Once you do that, I think the whole team kind of embodies that. And as the defensive guy, people say, man, he's talking about the offensive line. But that offensive line, to me, a good football team on 3rd and 1, when everybody knows you're about to run the football, you still run it and you get the first down.
All right,
Yep.
Coach Rob, you played linebacker. I'm going to go to the last line of defense,
fill up.
second team all-SWAC selection, and the defensive back right next to me, Urshad Davis. So I've got to know, just in your first few months around Coach Robinson, what is he like from your perspective?
Oh man, Coach just made it feel like home, man. He made it feel like it was all love, and that's some things that as a player that I never really had from a coach, man. So it just made me feel like the love was there, and it just made me want to play for him even more. And just at the end of the day, whatever I have, I'm going to give it to him.
All right, Demetrius, I'm going to ask you something very similar. Coming over from a Power 5 school, one of the highest rated transfers at Alabama State. What drew you in to the school?
Really just the coaches, just the great positive attitudes everyone had. I just felt real confident coming into it.
In terms of where the Hornets were last year in terms of passing attack, they were towards the bottom half of the conference.
Man, sorry, hand falling asleep.
I'm curious to know, is there a QB competition going on coming into fall camp as Demetrius comes in now? Of course, Ryan Nettles, who was a SWAC freshman of the year. I got to know, what's that been like so far?
It's been great. It's a great competition in QB room. We got about 3-4 guys that's ready to go, just like me.
Okay. Now, Demetrius, over here. Now, you're getting ready to play quarterback in the SWAC. Now, that's legends come out of there. When you talk about legendary quarterbacks, the great ones all go by one name. Coach Brown, help me out. Steve,
Air,
Doug, Williams, Shaq, Harris. So you got all these guys. So what's it going to take for you? What do you anticipate trying to be one of the next great ones out of the SWAC?
Honestly, I'm just ready to get my team everything I got. I'm not really looking about the legendary stuff. I just want to be the greatest me I could be for this season.
What's your style of play like? How would you describe, for those people that haven't seen you, what's your style of play?
I'm a dual threat, and I love to win.
All right, so Urshad, I'm going to ask, you like to come in hot, right? You like to thump them, okay? We've seen that before in calling your games. I've got to ask, when you take a look at the upcoming schedule, maybe a few teams that you may want to, get back at from last year, or that you always just get up for it. And
That UCLA game is big, man.
We just want to take this season one game at a time, man. We're not really looking into the future too
all right
much.
now, okay, all right. We'll start
he's
off
been
now.
coached well. He's been coached well.
I'm gonna give it that's a real answer. For the only time of day, I'm gonna say the first game's the most important game because they're taking on Howard University down in the Swac Challenge, representing the conference. So that's the only time we're gonna let somebody get away with that. The first game is this next. I'm gonna bail you out there. I'm gonna bail you out there.
But in terms of the anticipation, right? There's always this build-up. We talk about how everyone comes in with this great hope and optimism for the season, and how everybody is ready to go. But when you think about that Cricket Swac Challenge and taking on a opponent, the SWAC has not necessarily fared as well in those instances.
Man, they're getting their ass whooped.
Do you hope to make in week 0?
We're coming out strong, man. We are nobody to be played with, and we just gonna start off the season strong against Howard. They have a good team, and we're not gonna take them light. We're gonna prepare like we should be for every week of our season. So yeah, we're ready, and we're just excited to be in Atlanta to play against those guys.
Tighten up your chin strap there, Coach Robinson. Let me ask you this question here: How do you get Demetrius, your quarterback? How do you get him prepared to play in the Magic City Classic? You can hear about it. You're one of the few guys that played in it. Now you're gonna get to coach in it. What would be your advice for him and guys that are getting ready for that Classic game?
Well, I talked to Coach Maynard about it just earlier, and I was asking him.
Already?
Yeah, I was asking when he first got here for the Magic City Classic, did he realize it was that big of a game? Coming up here from New Orleans, I was always the Bayou Classic, so I didn't realize until I played it. And I'm like, man, this is it. You come here on Monday, they're already tailgating. So, and D was asking me, so where's the game at? So, because it's not in the news statement, I said, nah, it's at the legendary Iron Bowl, Legion Field. So we're gonna drive by there when we leave here, just so he can kind of see that whole. Then after that, of course, you focusing on that Swac MEDIA challenge. But I mean, you look at the schedule, the Magic City Classic. If you're at Alabama State, Alabama A&M, it's one of those games you always circle. We know it's just a great game to participate in.
Last question for you, Coach Robinson. All you've accomplished, NFL player, played Alabama State, been done. What's going to be going through your mind first time you walk out that tunnel in Atlanta as the leader of the Hornets?
Well, to be honest with you, I think to me it's going to really go back to those guys who inspired me. That's the Houston Markhams, the W.C. Gordons, the Eddie Robinsons, of course, and just to know that when you're out there leading a program, an FCS program, but more importantly, a SWAC program against a MEAC school, we have to get back to how we used to beat up on the MEAC when you were there.
Wow, talking shit.
And for America, just so you know, yes, he's Eddie Robinson Jr., but no relation to the legendary SWAC coach, Eddie Robinson, the legend of all. But best of luck to you out there.
We appreciate your time. I gotta know who's the better Houston Oiler. I'm gonna go way back because you're one of the new coaches in the SWAC.
The best Houston Oiler? Way back?
Yeah, we going way
Warm on.
back.
Well, for me, it's Dr. Doom, it's Robert Brazil.
Oh, okay.
52, Jackson State Hall of Fame.
Okay, you a Bubba. You a Bubba.
Oh, me a Bubba. That's a great question. I'm going to tell you what. I wouldn't have played 10 years in the NFL, 11 years in the NFL if not for Bubba. As a rookie, I knew nothing. And Bubba was one of those veteran guys who actually helped out the rookies. A lot of guys didn't do that. So he was playing strong safety. I was outside linebacker, and I didn't know very much. We just played SWAC, a lot of man coverage. They started playing zone and this exotic stuff. So Bubba, man, he's been my guy from way back, and wishing him the best of luck in every game except for one.
Except for one, and we'll hear from the Prairie View A&M coach a little bit later in the afternoon. However, coming up next, we'll talk to Fred McNair from Alcorn State. Players coming from the reservation into the Magic City.
All right, so let's go in alphabetical order. So, man, I did not fall asleep. My stand is broken, so I'm holding it with my hand, and that's why I'm moving like that. But I still wanted to get this out there to y'all, the ones who couldn't see it on ESPN3. I think they may have, let me see. Nope. Okay. So apparently everybody wants to see Jackson in Memphis. Jackson at Memphis. Okay. I should be able to stream that one as well. I'm not sure what channel that'll be on. Um, but I won't be here for that game. So I might be over in Arkansas when the game comes on, but we'll definitely get it going.
Going from Birmingham, Alabama on this beautiful Thursday inside the Sheraton.
Coach McNair.
State Braves coming your way from Lorman, Mississippi. Their head coach, Fred McNair, and also one of those guys you may be used to hearing about in the secondary, Kieran KJ Kinsler, along with CJ Bowler, the wide receiver.
And how long Bowler been there?
So I'm going to ask
Like a 7th-year senior?
a question first. 6-5 on the season. How did that provide motivation for you all coming into fall camp? Because I know the Braves have long been the hunted. Now you're kind of moving back to a position of being a hunter.
6-5 was, that was a culture shock for us. That we're used to being SWAC champs, going to the Celebration Bowl, competing.
We're getting their ass whooped.
Top of the echelon, top of the food chain. And I think that everybody in house, we took that as a slap in the face because 6-5 isn't us. And we all came back ready to work. And that's that.
CJ?
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, that's not the standard of all Florida State. You know what I'm saying? So when we go out, we came back this summer, ready to work. I don't feel like we are hunting. You know what I'm saying? We're always going to be at the top of the food chain because that's just who we are. That's just our culture. And like he said, we came in, realized what we didn't do, what we needed to get done, and we're going to go from there.
Coach, we heard from the players some of what they said. Now, you and I, we get real. What do we have? My old coach, Diddy Green, said, you are what your record says you are. 6-5. How did that happen? What was the step back, and how do you fix it?
I think the biggest thing is we talk about a team that's been pretty much on top of the SWAC conference throughout the last few years. And the disappointing season that you had last year coming into this year, things that we didn't get done as well as we should have. Just being able to minimize our mistakes, correct the things we didn't correct, and address the position that we need depth in. I think that's the biggest thing that we had to do during the whole season. And I think the coaching staff did a great job going in and recruiting and finding the people that we need to find to make our depth more efficient and more effective.
I'm glad you said that. You brought up recruiting. The number one question I think everybody wants to know within the HBCU landscape, when I talk about all Florida State football, the departure of Felix Harper. How do you replace Felix, and what's your plan?
Well, the biggest thing is it's always tough to replace a quarterback as Felix Harper. Felix was a phenomenal quarterback for the last 2 years in the conference. He's been very good for it, but the thing is we got guys that come in now that will compete for the job. We got 4 guys in here this spring that's going to really step up the game and come in and make this team a little bit better and really be the focus of the team in that quarterback position. So we do have guys in position that's going to come in and compete very hard.
Did you make any fundamental changes to the roster, coaching staff, any changes there at all for him? Because when you fall a little bit, sometimes that happens.
No, the biggest thing is we lost the coach, that was the defense coordinator, Coach Thornton, to grab him. And I went back and got Coach Stephen Thomas. He was there before. He did a great job. He was there as the defense coordinator. And we had some additional people to the defensive staff. Deion Roberson, the linebacker coach, he came from Pine Bluff with Coach Thomas. Jonathan Bradley, defensive line coach, came from Pine Bluff with Coach Thomas. So we're excited about those guys that we added. Also, Terenzo Quinn, he was out with Coach Thomas before here at All-Court State University. So coaching staff is an easy kill. We're just working hard to get the young men to where they need to be on Saturday.
All right, so KJ and CJ, you all are both going into
Bullshit. Sorry.
season, and so when you think about the breakdown of your schedule. Every game is going to be important. Everything is going to mean something to you. But what kind of would be a signature moment outside of going to the Cricket Celebration Bowl? What do you feel like would be kind of defining moments for your senior?
That first game.
Um, you know, you hear a lot about the FCS with the Swac and the competition level, and we open up with Stephen F. Austin, and when we come back and play Nice, I feel like those are two key games, key defining games for us to see where we are as a team, as a conference, to see if we can compete with the big dogs.
You all have a 13-game home winning streak, and so on your schedule this year, you got 5 home games, if I'm not mistaken. How important is that for you? I'm gonna ask CJ first, and then Coach, you can chime in for that too.
Well, it goes back to our coaching, you know what I'm saying? We take pride in winning, and especially at our home crowd. Our fans give us the most love, they show us the most love, so it's only right that when we play at home, we play our hearts out, as well as away, but it's a little different whenever you got your home crowd there with you.
Coach?
I guess the biggest thing is when you got a winning streak at home, you want to continue that winning streak, of course, and I think these guys up to the challenge. We faced Stephen F. Austin on September 3rd. It'll be a tough fight for us, and we just got to get these young men prepared to just make a stand at home like we've been doing and keep that winning streak alive. And so that's the biggest thing. We're just going to take one game at a time, and just so happen, Stephen F. Austin the first one.
Generic question, but I need to know. Y'all still got that smoke?
Of course.
See, when y'all was rolling, y'all challenged everybody. They didn't want the smoke. You remember that? They don't want to see this smoke. Everybody's telling they don't need the smoke. I want to know, do y'all still got that smoke? Reservation, one of the most intimidating road trips in all of HBCU football. What do y'all do to defend that place?
It's simple. We don't lose in the Sphinx. Simple as that. We're going to come out and compete, and you're going to see, our crowd with the tomahawk chop. It's time. It's game time.
Like that. Gotta give it up when you talk about Jack Sphinx and all that. Every time I'm here, I always make a commitment. I never talk about Alcorn State without talking about the legend, your brother, my man. Give it up, Steve McNair. I always got to say Alcorn State, Steve McNair. But you've done a great job in keeping that McNair legacy alive and well. One of the most underrated coaches in HBCU football right here, Fred McNair.
All right, we look forward to what the Braves will have in store for this upcoming season. And when we come back, we'll be joined by the Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman. Wow.
Bethune-Cookman.
Family image.
Y'all think Bethune-Cookman gonna be good this year? I don't even think Bethune. I mean, they're gonna be better than they were last year, but I don't think Bethune's gonna be a challenger in the Eastern Division. Let's put it like that. I mean, their defense was okay, but I don't think their offense is gonna be able to score more than 21 points. So all they got to have a great tight end and a quarterback who hasn't proven he can throw the ball. So we will see how he develops. Oh shit, hold up.
On the stage, joining us now, Mr. Terry Sims, the head coach, along with tight end Kamari Averett and Omari Hill Robinson. You will get to know that name and become very familiar with it. He let me know real quick. He said that those 5 interceptions real tough from a season ago. All SWAC performer. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here and joining us. And I'm going to ask you all questions first because 2 wins last season. Not typical of Bethune-Cookman, but you said that stung. We had a chance to talk yesterday. You said that